Marcus hadn't slept in 36 hours. His daughter Emma, 7 years old with her mother's eyes and his stubborn chin, was asleep across 2 airport chairs, her little backpack tucked under her head like a pillow. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments where in the world are you watching from. Around them, Chicago O'Hare buzzed and hummed with the usual chaos of a Friday. Evening, rolling suitcases, crying babies, gate announcements bleeding into one another like noise without meaning. Marcus stared at the departures board. Flight 447 to Denver. Departed 6:42 p.m. He had missed it by 11 minutes. 11 minutes, because Emma's shoe had gotten stuck in the escalator, because the security line had been a nightmare, because nothing, absolutely nothing in his life ever went smoothly anymore. He pressed his palms against his eyes and breathed. He was a single father of 2 years, ever since Lisa had passed. 2 years of packing lunches and braiding hair badly and pretending everything was fine, when most mornings it felt like the ground beneath him was made of thin ice. He had exactly $202 in his bank account. The rebooked flight would not leave until tomorrow morning. The cheapest hotel near the airport was $189 a night. That left him 24 hours for food for himself and Emma for the next 14 hours. He pulled out his phone, looked at the hotel booking screen, and then put it back in his pocket. They would sleep in the airport. It was fine. Emma was young enough that it might even feel like an adventure to her. He was telling himself this when he heard her, a voice, sharp with panic, cutting through the terminal noise. No, you don't understand. I have no phone, I have no wallet. Someone took my bag on the train and I need someone to help me, please. Marcus turned. A woman stood at the customer service desk about 20 feet away, her dark hair falling loose from a bun, her eyes wide and glassy with the specific terror of someone who has just realized how alone they are. The agent behind the counter was speaking in that practiced, bureaucratic tone that means I'm sorry, but there is nothing I can do. The woman stepped back from the desk. Her hands were shaking. She looked around the terminal the way people look, around when they are trying not to cry in public, scanning for something to focus on, something solid. Her eyes landed on Marcus. He didn't know why he walked over. Maybe because he knew that look. He had worn it every day for 2 years. Hey, he said, stopping a few feet from her. Are you okay? She laughed, a short, broken sound. No, not really. My bag was stolen on the blue line coming here. My phone, my wallet, my ID, everything was in it. I had a flight to Phoenix to see my sister. She's in the hospital, and now I don't know what to do. Marcus was quiet for a moment. What's your name? Sarah. I'm Marcus. That's Emma. He nodded toward his daughter. Still asleep across the chairs, her mouth slightly open. I missed my flight too. Different reasons, same result. Sarah looked at Emma, and something in her face softened. She's beautiful. She gets that from her mom. The words came out before he could stop them, and the familiar weight settled in behind them. He cleared his throat. Listen, I was going to get a hotel room for the night. I can't afford it now, so we're staying here. But I booked it before I did the math. And I have the confirmation. It's under my name, non-refundable. You should take it. Sarah stared at him. I'm sorry? The room, take it. It's paid for. It's going to go to waste otherwise. And you look like you haven't eaten in hours. I can't take a hotel room from a stranger. You can, Marcus said simply. I'm going to write down the confirmation number. The hotel is the Marriott on Bessie Coleman Drive. About 10 minutes from here on the shuttle. Go to the front desk, tell them you're with the reservation and rest. Tomorrow morning, call your sister's hospital. Call your bank, figure out the next step. But tonight, just rest. She was staring at him like he was a puzzle she couldn't solve. Why would you do this? Marcus thought about it honestly. Because 2 years ago, my wife was in the hospital and I was falling apart in a parking lot outside, and a stranger sat down next to me and just stayed there. He didn't say anything profound. He just didn't leave, and I've never forgotten it. He tore a page from Emma's coloring book, the only paper he had, and wrote down the confirmation number and the hotel's address. He folded it and handed it to her. Sarah took it. Her hand was still trembling slightly. "I'll pay you back," she said. "I'll find a way to—" "You'll pay someone else back," Marcus said. "That's how it works." She nodded slowly, looked down at the paper, and then looked back up at him. There were tears on her face now, and she didn't bother wiping them away. "Thank you, Marcus," she said. "I mean it." He nodded. She turned and walked toward the exit. He watched her go, then turned back to his sleeping daughter and sat down in the chair beside her. The airport hummed on around them. He was hungry and tired, and his back was already protesting the chair. But something in his chest felt lighter than it had in months, as though kindness, even given from an empty cup, had a way of filling you back up. He tucked Emma's jacket more carefully over her shoulders. Tomorrow they would get on a plane. Tonight this was enough. What Marcus didn't know, couldn't have known, was that Sarah worked in non-profit fundraising, that she would find him through the airline's lost and found process, through a note she left with the gate agent describing him, that she would call him 3 weeks later to tell him she'd gotten home safe and that her sister was recovering, that the conversation they had that day would stretch into more conversations, then into coffee, then into something neither of them had been looking for and both of them quietly needed, that Emma would 14 months later insist on calling her Sarah who found us, that second chances don't announce themselves. They arrive quiet in terminals, in borrowed hotel keys, in the simple and radical act of not walking past someone who needs help. You never know which ordinary moment is about to change everything. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel Kindness True Stories, where every story is a reminder that humanity is still beautiful. Kindness still exists, and no one is ever truly alone. Your support helps these stories reach more hearts around the world. Thank you for watching.